Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Daily, a comfortable place where we learn English together through daily conversations. I'm Emily.
And hello from me too. I am Paul. It's a beautiful day to practice English together, isn't it? How are you today, Emily? You look very bright and happy this morning.
Oh, thank you, Paul. I'm doing great, really. I had a very good sleep last night, and I started my morning with a little bit of yoga and a healthy breakfast. It made me feel very energetic. How about you? How is your health? Is everything going well with you?
I'm feeling wonderful. Thanks for asking. My health is good, and my mood is even better. I went for a long walk in the park this morning before coming here. The weather was cool, the sun was shining, and the air was so fresh. It really helped me clear my mind and feel ready for a new day.
That sounds like a perfect morning. You know, Paul, when I have a good morning like that, I feel like I can handle any task. Speaking of tasks, do you feel like you have a lot of work to do this week? Is your schedule very busy lately?
Well, yes, this week is a bit busy for me. I have a few projects to finish, many emails to answer, and some important meetings to attend. But I actually like being busy. It makes the time go faster, and I feel productive. What about you? Is your work going smoothly?
It's going very well. I've been busy preparing new lessons for our listeners. I love what I do, so it doesn't always feel like work. But you know, Paul, I was thinking about our listeners yesterday. Many of them are students or people who just started their first job in an office. They often tell me they feel very nervous when they have to speak English at the workplace.
I totally understand that feeling. I remember my very first day at an international office. I was so scared to even say hello to my boss or my colleagues in English. I was afraid of making mistakes.
Exactly. That is why I think we should talk about this today. Let's make it work our main topic. We can show everyone that talking about office life in English can be very simple and natural.
That's a great idea, Emily. Let's help our friends feel more confident. So, where should we start? Maybe we should start from the moment we arrive at the office.
Perfect. Let's imagine it is 8:45 in the morning. You just arrived at the office building. You walk through the front door. What is the first thing you usually do?
Well, as soon as I walk in, I see my colleagues. I see Sarah at the reception desk and Mike near the coffee machine. I always make sure to smile and say good morning to everyone I see.
That's the best way to start. Being polite is very important in any job. Do you just say good morning or do you say more?
I usually add a little bit more to be friendly. I might say, good morning, Sarah. How are you today? Or if it's a Monday, I'll ask, did you have a good weekend?
Those are great examples of small talk in English-speaking offices. Small talk is very common. It's not about talking for a long time. It's just about being nice and building a good relationship with the people you work with.
Right, and usually, they ask me back, I'm good, thanks. How about you, Paul, or how is it going? It makes the office feel like a friendly place.
I agree. After that, you go to your desk. Can you describe your workspace for our listeners? What do you have on your desk every day?
Of course, I have a medium-sized wooden desk. On my desk, the most important thing is my computer actually. I use a laptop. Next to my laptop, I have a mouse and a large mouse pad so I can move it easily.
Do you have a lot of papers and documents on your desk?
Not really. I try to keep my desk organized and clean. But I always have a notebook and a blue pen. I like to write down my to-do list every morning so I don't forget my tasks. Oh, and I cannot forget my water bottle and my favorite coffee mug. I need water and coffee to stay awake.
A coffee mug is like a best friend at work. What about your chair? Do you like it?
Yes, I have a very comfortable office chair. It's an ergonomic chair, which means it supports my back because I have to sit for many hours. Having a good chair is very important for your health.
That's true. Now that you are sitting at your desk and you have your coffee, what is the first real work task you do?
The very first thing I do every single day is check my emails. I open my computer, log in, and look at my inbox to see who sent me messages overnight.
Checking emails is a huge part of modern work. What do you do if you see a lot of emails?
I try to prioritize them. If an email is very important, I reply to it immediately. If it is not urgent, I might wait until the afternoon. Sometimes, I receive an email that is meant for someone else, so I forward it to the right person.
Forward is a very useful word for our listeners to remember. It means sending an email you received to another person. So, besides emails, what else do you do during the day?
I spend a lot of time typing reports and entering data into the computer. I also have to create spreadsheets to keep track of our sales. It can be a bit boring sometimes, but I try to focus.
Do you ever have to make phone calls to customers or partners?
Yes, quite often. When the office phone rings, I pick it up and say, "Hello, this is Paul from the marketing department. How can I help you today?"
You sound very professional, Paul. I think our listeners can practice that sentence too. It's a very standard way to answer the phone at work. Now, let's talk about meetings. Do you have many meetings in your office?
To be honest, Emily, I have a few. We have a staff meeting every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. We all go to the conference room or meeting room to talk about our progress.
What exactly do you discuss in those meetings?
We talk about our current projects, we check our deadlines, and we set new goals for the next week. Our manager usually leads the meeting and asks us if we have any problems.
The word deadline is something that makes many people feel a bit stressed. Can you explain what it means for everyone?
Sure, a deadline is the final time or date when you must finish a task. For example, if my boss says the deadline for a report is Friday at 5 p.m., I must make sure the report is finished and sent before that time. If I finish after that, I am past the deadline.
And being past the deadline is usually not a good thing. It's always better to finish a bit early if you can.
Exactly. Sometimes we also have virtual meetings or video calls because some of our colleagues work from home. We use our webcams and microphones to talk to each other on the screen.
That has become very common lately. Technology really helps us work together even if we are in different places. But after working for a few hours, everyone needs a break. Paul, let's talk about the lunch break. What time do you usually eat?
I usually take my lunch break at 12:30 p.m. In my office, we have 1 hour for lunch. It is my favorite part of the day because I can rest my eyes and my brain.
Do you stay at your desk to eat your lunch?
Oh no, I never eat at my desk. I think it's very important to take a break and move away from the workspace. Usually, I go to the office break room, or sometimes I go outside to a small cafe nearby with my friends.
What do people usually do in the break room?
Well, we have a small kitchen there. Some people bring their own food from home and heat it up in the microwave. We also have a refrigerator to keep our food cold and a kettle to make tea.
Do you and your colleagues talk about work during lunch?
We try to avoid talking about work. We like to talk about other things, like what we did over the weekend, a movie we saw, or our favorite sports teams. It helps us feel more relaxed and happy.
I agree. Taking a real rest helps you work much better in the afternoon. Do you ever feel sleepy after lunch?
Sometimes, especially around 2 or 3 p.m., we call it the afternoon slump. When that happens, I usually get up, stretch my legs, and maybe have another cup of tea to stay focused and productive.
Focused and productive are two great words for work. But sometimes, work isn't always easy and smooth. What kind of problems do you usually face in the office?
Well, sometimes the technology fails us. For example, the internet might be down, which means we cannot do anything online. Or sometimes the printer is jammed, and I cannot print my documents.
Oh, a jammed printer is a classic office problem. What do you do then?
I usually have to call the IT department or ask a colleague who is good with machines to help me. Another problem is having a heavy workload.
Heavy workload means you have too much work to do in a short time, right?
Yes, when my workload is too heavy, I feel a bit stressed. In those moments, I have to talk to my manager. I might say, I have a lot on my plate right now. Can we change the deadline for this task?
That is a very professional way to handle it. To have a lot on your plate is a great idiom. It means you are very busy with many things. It's always better to speak up than to stay silent and feel overwhelmed.
I agree. Communication is the key to a good working environment. Also, if I make a mistake, I try to apologize quickly. I say, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake on this file. I will fix it right away."
That's a great attitude. Everyone makes mistakes, even the boss. The important thing is to fix it and learn from it. Now, let's imagine the clock shows 5 p.m. The day is coming to an end. What is your routine before you leave the office?
The first thing I do is make sure I save all my files on the computer. I don't want to lose any of my hard work, then I shut down my laptop and turn off my monitor.
Do you leave your desk messy?
No, I try to tidy up a bit. I put my pens away and organize my papers. I like to arrive at a clean desk the next morning. It makes me feel better when I start my day. Then, I pack my bag and put on my coat.
What do you say to your colleagues before you walk out?
I always say goodbye or see you tomorrow. Sometimes I say, "Have a nice evening, everyone." It's a nice way to end the day on a positive note.
And then you leave the office and your work life stays there until the next day. We often use the phrase to call it a day when we finish our work.
Yes, I'm calling it a day. I love that phrase. It sounds so satisfying after a long day of being productive.
It really does. Paul, before we finish our conversation today, do you have any final advice for our listeners who are practicing their English for work?
My first advice would be punctual. In many cultures, arriving on time is very important. It shows that you are professional and that you respect other people's time.
That's very true. Punctual is a word every worker should know. What else?
My second advice is, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. If your boss gives you a task and you don't understand every word, it's okay to say, "Could you please repeat that?" Or "Could you explain what you mean by this?" It is better to ask a question than to do the wrong thing.
I completely agree. And my advice is, learn the specific vocabulary for your job. If you work in a kitchen, learn the names of the tools. If you work in an office, learn words like stapler, file, or spreadsheet. It will make you feel much more confident.
That's a great point, Emily. Small steps lead to big changes. You don't need to speak perfect English, you just need to be clear and polite.
Exactly. Well, Paul, I think we have covered a lot today. We talked about arriving at work, describing a desk, daily tasks, meetings, lunch breaks, and even how to handle problems.
I hope our listeners found this conversation useful. I really enjoyed talking about this with you. I'm feeling like I've done a good job today.
You definitely have. And to all our listeners, thank you so much for spending time with us today. You are doing a wonderful thing by practicing your listening skills.
Yes, keep going. Every day you listen, you are getting better. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Mr. English Daily, so you don't miss our next episodes.
And please leave a comment for us. We want to hear from you. Tell us, what is your job? Or what do you usually have on your desk? Practice your English by writing a few sentences below.
We will read your comments and try to reply to as many as possible. It's a great way for us to connect with you.
Well, I think it's time for us to call it a day too. Paul, I'm going to go home and have a nice dinner.
That sounds like a plan. I'm going to the gym for a little bit of exercise. Goodbye, everyone. Have a productive and happy day at your work.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next episode. Happy learning.